Assassin's Creed Unity is honestly a really fun game to play if you can get these bad things out of the way and out of your mind. However, these bad things do exist, and in this video we are going to be pointing out 5 bad things in Assassin's Creed Unity, and God knows I could have made that 500 if I so wished. Please bear in mind that this will be all in my opinion. If you disagree or have more to add in the comment section, then please go ahead and use the comment section, because after all, that's what it's there for. First of all, we have the stealth system.
Oh, we're pushing the stealth in Assassin's Creed Unity. Stealth system is fucking broken!
I couldn't word it better. The stealth system in Assassin's Creed Unity was not up to scratch. I can understand and appreciate what they were trying to do, however the execution was somewhat below what was expected, and it was somewhat broken in the process. Now, it wasn't the most broken stealth system ever in a game, and it was possible. It just requires a lot of patience. Patience that you often don't have, and it could take you a long time to do something that you should be able to do in 2 minutes. And more often than not, the stealth in Assassin's Creed Unity would result in something a little bit more messy and more exposed. You'd often find yourself in open conflict, and considering how tedious it is to remain undetected, you'd probably prefer it that way. But I salute those who are disciplined enough to remain undetected for long enough to do the mission, and I'll leave it at that. Next up, we have the lack of interesting characters in the game. Now, there were some potentially interesting characters in the game, most notably Napoleon Bonaparte, and yeah, that's about it really. That's how memorable they were. You see, Elise, Balek, they were all used probably incorrectly. They could have been so much more interesting had they been used in a better way. However, a lot of them were just skimmed over and not used very well at all. Napoleon was there for a couple of missions, and then in Dead Kings he seemed like a bit of a villain, and we didn't really get to know him as a character like we did with Leonardo, how they were fictionally presented, but in this they were more historically presented, and the majority of characters didn't exist anyway. Speaking of which, characters such as Elise were used wrong, and they just weren't interesting, nor were they likeable. The only real interesting character was Arno himself, and he was really cool, and Arno's dad, who was dead after about 5 minutes of gameplay. And besides that, there was Pierre Balek, who was a very interesting character. However, he wasn't used nearly enough, and when he was used, he wasn't used correctly, like with I did mention before. Balek was a character with more potential than was displayed, and they didn't use it, and all in all, what was an interesting character at the start turned out to be not so interesting towards the middle and end. Then there's that Sard chap who's just a prick, and he's not really anything other than irritating. And then there are the villains and antagonists who aren't interesting either, and all in all, the cast in Assassin's Creed Unity wasn't the most interesting that we've ever seen. Next up, we have the microtransactions. Now, microtransactions in Assassin's Creed Unity are quite passively forced. Now, they're not forced, you don't have to use them. However, it is heavily suggested that you do, because otherwise you could be running around for hours grinding just to get one piece of kit that's supposed to help you get through the higher up level missions, which is incredibly irritating. And these microtransactions there are a cheap way to level up really quickly and so on and so forth, but if you do not use them, you are punished by wasting hours on end doing jack shit but running around collecting money and collecting experience and stuff just so you can use this kit, just so that you can actually stand a chance when doing a mission. And it is not fun to have to grind because you don't want to waste money on the game that you've already paid to play because you've bought the game. Now, it feels as if Ubisoft knew most people wouldn't touch the microtransactions, meaning that it would make the game feel a lot longer for the players who were wasting about 10 hours of playing time just grinding to make sure they've got the best equipment that they can, because otherwise succeeding is almost impossible while playing this game. Besides this little thing, these expensive pieces of equipment and so on and so forth, the customization in Assassin's Creed Unity was pretty good. It's just sad that these days everything has to be ruined by forcing microtransactions into the mix. We also have clunky gameplay. Now, in Assassin's Creed Unity, it was marketed as a game that would be more defined gameplay wise, in the sense that it would be easier to control and handle, and you wouldn't randomly mount walls and shit, which is the exact opposite of what the game provided. In the game, you would do exactly that. Randomly mount walls and things when you didn't intend to because you were too close to them when you started running, and so on and so forth. Now, this was quite irritating because in a high-speed chase you'd be running all over the place, and you'd often find that instead of doing what you have to do or want to do, Arno would be doing his own thing, and sometimes going in the complete opposite direction to the one that you want to be going in. I'd often be finding myself struggling to understand how to control Arno in the way that I want to control the game, because sometimes what I want to do won't be how I think I'm supposed to do it, and I'd end up jumping and attaching to something, and just sometimes the gameplay takes control of itself and you feel as if the game really does have a mind of its own, which is something that you don't want. You want to have full control where possible, which is something that Assassin's Creed Unity really struggles with, because in Assassin's Creed Unity you find a lack of control in certain situations, especially in tight spaces when you're running or whatever, and honestly, the game was not as polished gameplay-wise as it perhaps could have been. And finally, as far as glitches are concerned, Assassin's Creed Unity is like the Argos catalogue. Assassin's Creed Unity on release, and still today, to some extent, is and was a glitchy mess full of all kinds of hilarious glitches that took from the experience and made it quite a bit of a nasty piece of work at times, but others added to the experience, making you laugh your face off as someone's face is missing and you just want to be a part of that crowd. Honestly, the glitches were hilarious, but they really did break the game. They ruined immersion, among other things. Other things being they ruined some certain missions, they made you have to restart certain things because you got yourself into a game-breaking glitch. They often broke the game completely, and it also came with other performance issues such as crashing, frame rate drops, so on, as I just don't want to list them because I'm getting PTSD. So there you have it, everybody. 5 bad things in Assassin's Creed Unity, if I learned how to count. But anyway guys, that is the video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to remember that this is all in my opinion. If you disagree or have more to add, and there most certainly is more, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section, as after all, that's what they are there for. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you all in the next one with another video. So thanks for watching guys. So yeah.